Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and I want to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home because there are leaks abound, and it is nothing but hype train after this. So, the MCU is about to be changed with this Spider-Man movie forever, seemed like it, you know? So, who knows? But the reason why I want to talk about it is because, Kevin Feige mentioned that we shouldn't have our expectations so high because while some of the rumors are true, a lot of them aren't, and the dangers of having high expectations. But my thing is, it kind of goes to the whole thing of you remember how the leaks of Endgame and Infinity War was happening during the time, and Kevin and the rest of them was swearing up and down, no, it's not nothing like this. Then come to find out, almost all of the darn rumors, like 99.9% of the darn rumors were true. So it's one of those things no, you just probably mad that the information got leaked. You're doing a Spider-Verse movie at this point that there are leaks right now showing all three Spider-Man actors together. I don't know whether it's real or not, don't really care, but the rumors are there, and instead of trying to hide behind it or whatever, you might as well go ahead and release a trailer because the movie comes out Christmas. It comes out on Christmas Day. So it's already November. Just go ahead and release the damn trailer. Ain't nobody got time for all that nonsense of trying to keep it hidden from the world or whatever. We already know that there's going to be a multiverse thing because it's going to tie into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So just go ahead and release it and stop trying to sugarcoat it. If you didn't want expectations to be high, you wouldn't have brought in 3 damn Spider-Man. That's how I feel about the situation. Don't bring them in. But since this is a Sony and a Marvel production together, hey, you have some expectations to bank on. They already did Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and now you have characters from other Sony films being involved in the MCU. Because let's be honest, I tell people this to this day, Tom Holland can't handle a movie by himself. That's why they're adding all of these other characters or other figures into the Spider-Man movie. Notice how this has been one of the most featured Spider-Man movies, franchises since ever, to be honest. Yeah, the Spider-Man 90 show and had cameos from other characters, but never at the detriment of Spider-Man himself. This comes at the detriment of Spider-Man himself because you already know that most Spider-Man fans care about Tobey Maguire and probably Andrew Garfield. And I think, Andrew Garfield didn't even get a good fair shake at the role because Sony wanted to do a lot of things that messed up Amazing Spider-Man 2. Because let's be honest, Amazing Spider-Man wasn't even bad. So everybody's talking about, it really wasn't. It really wasn't. Yeah, they kind of make Peter just a tad bit too cool for school, if you ask me. But other than that, it was a solid, and I actually enjoyed his Spider-Man suit. I thought that was probably the most uniquely Spider-Man suits that actually, made sense. At least he built the shit, unlike Tom Holland's Spider-Man, who never builds any of his shit except for that homemade suit, which was lazy as hell, to be honest. Come on now. Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man built their suits. And especially the Amazing Spider-Man 2 Spider-Man suit was fantastic. That was so amazing. That Spider-Man suit was just phenomenal. And it was just wasted on an overbloated movie. I feel like it had the Spider-Man 3 problem. If you didn't overbloat the movie, you probably would have had something going on, to be honest. That's what I believe. That's what I think, to be honest. I don't want anybody to be like, oh, it was. No, I don't think Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy was bad, to be honest. I just think it was too much too soon. If you ask me, it was too much too soon because there were so many characters they want to introduce. There were so many things that were planned for the thing because they were also trying to plan Venom, I believe, as well. So, and of course, they were going to do a Sinister Six movie themselves. and then they were going to do a little bit of spinoffs, and I just feel like Sony just jumped the gun, and that's what happens when you have certain executives in Sony and in Marvel that kind of jump the gun with a lot of this stuff. That's why the Amazing Spider-Man 2 franchise kind of failed. Excuse me. But other than that, I'm pretty much excited. I mean, the leaks are happening, but it's just kind of weird that Kevin wants to tell people like, hey, you shouldn't get your hopes up. Well, maybe you should just give the fans what the hell they want to and not give the fans what you think they need. You know what I'm saying? Because that's another thing. When you say stuff like that, it tells me that you're going to do something stupid that's going to piss off the fans, and you know you're doing it, and yet you're trying to be like, oh, well, don't get your hopes up and stuff like that. No, your ass knew what the hell you were doing. You set up there purposely did something that you knew was going to make your fans upset. So don't give me that nonsense. I hate when people do stuff like that, when they try to calm fans' expectation down. For what? We already saw the leak. We already saw some of the leaks already. We know it was a multiverse thing. Oh well. You know what I'm saying? You can't hide it forever. You just can't hide it forever. Instead of hiding it, just go ahead and show it. Go ahead and show it at this point. What you should have did is do promotional images of the 3 Spider-Man together. Cause think about it. You're talking about it. You're talking about it as if people weren't going to see the movie regardless. If you showed us what the surprise was. We already saw Venom 2. Let There Be Carnage. So we already know that Venom is coming. We already know Michael Morbius is coming. We already know that Sony and Marvel kind of have like this little shared thing where they're going to have these characters in the MCU, but sort of not in the MCU. And it's okay. It is okay for that to happen. But you got to stop trying to pretend like none of this stuff is happening right now. That's how I feel about the whole situation or whatever. I mean, because we're literally getting a multiverse story because Doctor Strange is messing with the timeline and try to, which, to be honest, I'm kind of confused on how the world is Spider-Man interfering with a spell that Doctor Strange can cast on his own without saying words or whatever. So I don't understand how Peter himself is messing with the spell, but whatever. I'm just kind of like, okay. But I just kind of find it strange that Kevin don't want fans to have expectations. It's almost as if you're trying to self-sabotage the movie, sort of. I mean, because let's be honest, most of the money goes to Sony any damn way. And Marvel gets the merchandise rights to it, so that's great. But again, I'm gonna take a page from Zack Snyder's playbook. When you know that certain characters are gonna be there, just go ahead and promote it. Do promotional images, and I'm not talking about from the movie itself. I'm talking about do promotional setup for the characters. Yeah, that's right. When we're doing a Spider-Man movie in a magazine or something like that, or a piece or whatever, you should have each Spider-Man. You should have 3 cover pages, one for each Spider-Man, and then Alfred Molina and the Green Goblin and Electro, because those are like the 3 little characters, and then you have Doctor Strange or whatever, and then you have a collide of all of those pictures together, and then you have one of all 3 Spider-Man put together. That's how you do something like that. Trust me, we would still went to go watch it regardless. Didn't people still go and watch Endgame and Infinity War after they were leaked online? Like, the entire story was online for people to look at. People did, and they still went to go see it. So there's really no excuse for why we haven't got anything yet. It is what is today's date? It's November the 9th. And we got a few days out from Christmas. Go ahead and release it. You might as well, because apparently there are some theaters that already accidentally leaked the second trailer that apparently you didn't want us to watch. So Kevin, what are you doing? Stop trying to be secretive. You lost that battle a long time ago. You lost that battle a long time ago, especially when it's from franchises that people want to care about. Notice how when it's a franchise or a character movie that people care about, that's when we get the leaks. That's when we get people hyped about it and stuff. But when it's something that nobody really cares about, it's whatever. You didn't surprise anybody by anything. So, I don't know. I just kind of find it weird that it seems like some of the leaks are true about Matt Murdock is helping Peter with his case. A hole done opened up into the multiverse where Andrew Garfield Spider-Man and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man are coming to help Spider-Man put down the multiversal Sinister Six characters. Look like Jamie Foxx is there. Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. Then we got Alfred Molina's Doc Ock as well. And who knows what other Sinister Six, because I mean we do know that Scorpion and Vulture are in the MCU, and we don't know what tide they are in. So who knows how that works. But I mean, you kind of relying on the whole premise of one more day anyway in the Spider-Verse, which, I mean, I say go for it, to be honest. Why not? But I just feel like it's no point of hiding it. And at this point, anticipation is high because it is Spider-Man. So no matter what you're going to do, it's Spider-Man. So expectations are already going to be high, especially when you have people like Soups and who that other person? It's another person who does a lot of the MCU little stuff or whatever. But you know, people that you actually invite who also talks about, oh, I found something really cool. I found a cool Easter egg, or here's what I think is going to happen in the movie, or something like that. When you have people like that talks about that kind of stuff, it's bound to happen. And then y'all want to try to go back and retcon that. You're like, well, you know, you shouldn't have had your expectations up high. No, you shouldn't have made dumb decisions. How about that? Or you shouldn't have hid it so long that expectations weren't high. You get what I'm saying? If you know, it happens. It happens. But I don't know. I just feel like this trying to hide everything and trying to keep everything quiet kind of thing for a Spider-Man movie is not the business, especially since all of your MCU movies that came out recently have been lackluster. Right now, people need some excitement, and Spider-Man brings it. That's why I said that the MCU right now is heavily relied on Spider-Man right now, because that's where the hype is coming from. You know what I'm saying? So y'all need to figure out something. That's how I feel about the situation. Figure out something. And you need to figure out how you're going to get interesting characters outside of Spider-Man. Because, I mean, yeah, Doctor Strange, that's about really it. Doctor Strange at the Multiverse of Madness, I guess. Because nothing else on your slate looks really interesting enough that's going to get people hyped. And you haven't really been doing well with Phase 4 to set anything up at all. So at this point, all of the characters that are coming in now would have been great if they came during the time that the good heroes were around. But since you don't have them, now you're trying to rely on those characters. It's just a little too late at this point. But, I mean, hey, you make it make sense, Marvel. You make it make sense. Kevin, you're already in trouble, bro. So you might as well just go ahead, release the information. Stop trying to sugarcoat it. Stop trying to hide it. People are going to go and see this Spider-Man movie regardless. But don't try to tell the fans to calm their expectations, because, you know, it's Spider-Man. And you already know what the hell you did. And I just hope that this movie does turn out well. I know it's nostalgia bait for the hell of it, because, like I said, the MCU Spider-Man can't stand on their own. Even if it is a Sony co-produced project, they still proven, the MCU, Kevin Feige, still proved that they can't make Spider-Man stand alone. And I understand they had to probably do it, do it. They'll try to be like, oh, he's in the MCU, but I mean, Spider-Man at the end of the day is a street level character, and for him not to be in New York City is ridiculous. But hey, those are my thoughts, those are my opinions. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.